Hogwarts Legacy was a massive game that turned out a lot better than I thought it would. I wish I could have felt more like an average Hogwarts student than a chosen one, but that's really a tiny gripe. Although, for what was such a massive undertaking, there seemed to be a fair few things missing from Hogwarts Legacy. Quidditch, for one thing, but I could take or leave Quidditch. It would just be some side activity that wouldn't help me in the main plot. That's not to say it couldn't be fun, but nothing has ever even come close to the best side activity in a video game, Gwent. Today, I'm looking at the things missing from the core experience of Hogwarts Legacy, the spells. Hogwarts Legacy's spells were limited by the mythology of Harry Potter, and some of them seem to be focused more on spectacle and fun rather than utility, and some just felt like filler. For example, did we really need 3 distinct types of shield-breaking spells? So let's take a look at the fundamental things missing from the player's arsenal in Hogwarts Legacy, and see if there are any canon spells that could fill that need. Firstly, the shield spell Protego is quite basic. It only protects against certain kinds of damage, and the only way it's useful is if it lets you enter a counter state. And that's all this spell really is, a counter stance, when a magical shield could be so much more. For example, we could use Teloris instead of a shield, which is a reflection spell. This would be a far less complicated counter to execute, as it wouldn't require you to stop moving. Protego made counters too easy, as there wasn't a penalty for missing a counter, as Protego would still protect you. So a much faster spell like Teloris would make combat much quicker and give greater rewards than a simple stun counter that you might not even be able to follow up on. The next is a dedicated healing spell. Look, I can't be the only one who thinks growing plants in video games is boring, so I admittedly did not engage with the alchemy system as it wasn't all that engaging. I found myself punished for this throughout the game when I didn't have any healing methods as I was out of Wiggenwald potions. I think plants have a purpose in Hogwarts Legacy, the screaming mandrakes were always a blast to use, but locking a critical feature such as healing behind them is incredibly annoying, especially when the game gets quite tricky near the end. So adding a healing spell like Episki would be a massive quality of life improvement. Another feature of Hogwarts Legacy that sucked was stealth. It was totally unnecessary and half-baked. It never got more complicated than going behind them and casting Petrificus Totalis. On top of that, it was really easy to get caught. So I suggest a do-over spell like Obliviate to make stealth more forgiving. I would have also liked more options for stealth, like decoys or environmental takedowns, but that's getting away from the point of this essay. Now, I'd like to get into the 2 big spells missing from Hogwarts Legacy that would have been awesome if they were included. Firstly, Animagus. How did this not get put in? It would be a whole new way to experience battle and explore the world. The hippogriffs are great and all, but could you imagine flying around as an owl? Going back to stealth, why not let me turn into a cat and use more nimble acrobatics to weave between covers? And in terms of combat, the potential is limitless. For example, have a Slytherin become a snake and poison enemies by biting them. Have Gryffindors turn into lions and gain massive attack bonuses as you lunge at opponents. Now that I'm thinking about it, it sounds really complicated, and maybe not the best idea to include in the first game. The good news is, we're definitely getting a sequel, because this game sold extraordinarily well for what was a dying IP wrapped in controversy. The final spell that should have been included in Hogwarts Legacy is a Patronus. I know it doesn't make sense to have it, as we don't fight any Dementors, but that's where a sequel can improve, and it's not like a Patronus would have been entirely useless in Hogwarts Legacy. You could have used them as a stun or to illuminate the wilderness at night, as well as letting you customize your Patronus and hang out with it like a pet. I think this was the biggest missed opportunity in Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy was a game that was better than it had any right to be, with fun and flashy combat that washed nostalgia over me with every wand wave. I hope an inevitable sequel will be able to cut out some of the useless spells while adding even more creative and exciting ones.